These are our video pods, or Gramity Pods. These fix an issue we've had with using the new digital cameras out in the field, and that is that the monopod bases and the tripod bases we've been buying have been too fragile, and they have a tendency to break, which ends up being a very seriously damaged camera. So we've created these Gramity Pods. They're not light, they're about 3.5 kilograms. They're made of coated steel. If you buy a Gramity Pod, you're going to be using it for the next 30 years because these things just won't break. They are solid steel. They're very useful in the way we use them, where with the modern digital cameras, these are very small, so these things make an unobtrusive stand. They have a very small footprint, so if you're at a venue, they take up very little room. You don't need to move seats. You can tuck them in nice and close, and unlike a tripod where your legs are splayed out and everybody trips over them, you don't have that with a Gramity Pod. This one here, we've just screwed, I've left this uncoated one here, so you can see that's the Gramity Pod, 1.10 meters, and I've just screwed a extension rod onto the top, put on the camera, and you have a very unintrusive unit, and it works very well. We also use them with gimbals and a little Osmo there, a little Osmo Pocket. We basically have two sizes. This size here, these 2.25 meter ones, are used when we want to be really above the crowd height, and you use those when you're shooting in a camera that you need to have height, but you may have limited space, and you control the camera of course on your phone, so you don't physically need to see what the camera's seeing. You operate from the phone, you can see what the camera's seeing, you can point it, aim it, rotate it. Very good for shooting over the head of a crowd or in a tight situation, and these are just sized big enough that if you open the back seat, you can slide it through the average little car. They screw apart, so the actual pod comes off, the rod comes off the Gramity Pod, and as you can see, that's thick steel. Oh, it's a bit hard, maybe. That's also steel. So anybody tripping over one of these won't be bending it, I can assure you. They are solid as. So that's what we use when we're doing shooting with digital cameras. We just find that tripods in tight situations and anywhere we need real height are a real nuisance. So, and they're manufactured in New Zealand. If you order something, then we'll tell you whether it's available or whether we're waiting for the next batch. And once we get them, they get powder coated. So that's the Gramity Pod.